Teachers, look, let's be real. Modifying work for student IEPs is time-consuming, often confusing, and extremely overwhelming, especially when we're trying to stay in compliance and do what's right for kids. But what if I told you that AI can do most of the work for you, and by doing this, you're not compromising your ethics, you're staying within compliance, and you're still being authentic to your teacher self? Today, I'm gonna show you how to use ChatGPT while staying in compliance with IEP modifications and accommodations. Let's go. So real quick, let's name the problem. The reason maybe you and a lot of other teachers find IEPs to be overwhelming is because teachers already have so many time constraints. And when you're dealing with something that has to do with legal compliance and something that's so complex, because special ed department likes to use a lot of acronyms. You want to get things right so you can do right by kids and their families and also keep your school out of hot water. The other part of this problem is a common mistake that many teachers use, and that is this one-size-fits-all approach that often overlooks specific accommodations. So then the question becomes, how do you balance differentiation with an increasingly difficult workload? That's the problem we're gonna solve right now. But before I do, drop a comment below. I'm curious what accommodation that used to be particularly difficult for you to sort of meet is something you figured out a solution for. My hope in asking questions like this is that whether it's now or 10 years from now, someone's watching this video and there's actual help below that's not just coming from me, but it's coming from a whole team of educators. All right, so here's my solution. And I love this because it really gives you back the power, the time, the energy, and the effort, and meets all kids' needs. The first thing you're gonna do is take whatever lesson plan you're using. And so as an example, I'm gonna use two different lesson plans in this video today. One is for biology and another is for the short story, The Lottery. So to make sure that I was trying to be as least biased as possible, I found lesson plans online that were created by someone else. So this isn't even me bringing my stuff into this. Now you can either copy and paste these documents into ChatGPT, or you can hit this little tiny plus sign in the bottom and it will allow you to pick any documents that you have on your computer and bring those in as well. Then what I typically do is use a simple prompt so that I can keep kids' information out of this. So even if you're going to upload information from a specific IEP, you have to be, let me say this very clearly, you have to be sure that you are not including someone's personal information, not their name, their social security number, your actual school title. I try to leave all that stuff out. I'm not trying to be overly neurotic here, but I am trying to safeguard someone's personal information. So I will often say things like, create a list of modifications and accommodations for a student that has ADHD, dyslexia, or audio processing disorder, and maybe is even on a 5th grade reading level in the 9th or 10th grade. Then instantly, I get an answer back. And within a few seconds, I have a lesson plan that mirrors what we're doing, but also create something more uniquely tailored for a student. Now, a step that many folks forget when it comes to using AI, in this case specifically ChatGPT, is that you can keep adding prompts. So if you like something or dislike something, if you forgot to add something, you can go back and fill in those blanks and it will just keep creating something new. Now, another step you could take here is you could upload the actual information from the IEP, making sure to redact any student information. And then that way, it's not just left up to how you read the IEP. As I said earlier, a lot of mistakes that teachers make come from overlooking specific details of any specific IEP, which is a lot of specifics, but you get what I'm talking about. Then have it create the lesson plan for that student's individual IEP. Now, the third part in this section is to really take a look at this. You have to review the lesson plan that ChatGPT is creating for you. You don't want to just take its word for it. So this is sort of like, I've said this in other videos, it's like my C+ level or B level assistant. So at the end of the day, as educators, we are still responsible for creating this, but this is just the help to get some of that heavy lifting done so that you can further refine what has been created. And the bonus here is, look, if you need to make sure that the language is further simplified, that the lesson has visual supports, or that it's been chunked, you can make those changes either by telling ChatGPT that that's what you would like to see changed, or by creating it yourself. Now, the beauty in this that I found also is that at the end of each new plan that ChatGPT creates, it will give you suggestions at the bottom asking you if you need slides for this or if you need visuals for visual learners. And then you can just say yes. tell it what you want it to look like, or just hit the yes button and you just keep going and it will spit out something that is going to get you started down that part of this road. Now, like I said, I did this with 2 different lesson plans that weren't mine to just see if I still liked the way that it worked. And I'm telling you, it is incredible what this thing is able to do. I'm gonna attach both of those lesson plans and what ChatGPT created in the description below. You can just take it for free, but I really want you to be able to see it with your own eyes without me doing some kind of like fast overlay. Now, when you look at either one of these lesson plans that were created by ChatGPT, you'll see that it simplified the language, chunked instructions, added visual and hand-on elements, and even enlarged the font and added bolded words to increase readability. It created charts as a visual aid. It broke things down so they could be understood. And at my request, it even added sentence starters for all of the questions that were asked in each section. Now, the question that many of you are asking is this actually legally compliant? Yes, but you have to review it. You have to make sure that this is done correctly. So although I want you to think about all the heavy lifting that this saves, at the end of the day, we're not just shipping out what we're getting in. We have to take a look at it and make sure that it's not only what's best for compliance, but it's also what's best for your student. Now, one of the biggest problems that happens when we are implementing IEPs can be classroom management. It's one thing to create those lesson plans and to differentiate. It's a whole nother thing to run the systems, policies, procedures, to build those relationships, to create those engaging lessons. That's another animal in and of itself. And for that reason, I've created the Ultimate Guide to Classroom Management. It is a 4-part series that is going to next level your classroom for you and for your students. You can find the links to everything I've talked about in the description below, as long as a sign up link for the Ultimate Guide to Classroom Management. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that stuff. And don't forget to click on some of these videos that YouTube thinks that you're gonna be interested in. That's it this time, gang. Peace.